Both Mark and Zoe are transformative leaders. They have been so instrumental in catalyzing economic and community development projects throughout this region for decades. They are extremely successful and committed to our community.
Well, I'm truly a Richland County guy. I grew up there. Even though I left for about a dozen years, I came back full circle, and I was lucky enough to have a wife from California willing to move back with me.
I grew up in Los Angeles. That's kind of my hometown. Mark and I were both working for Hughes Aircraft overseas on an overseas assignment, and that's where we met.
We're actually living in former Soviet Union for the purpose of implementing the INF Treaty, which is the treaty Gorbachev and Reagan signed in 1987. So I was very lucky to meet her overseas. I actually proposed to her in Madrid, Spain.
We met, we fell in love, we got married, and we moved back to Ohio.
From the moment I met them, I just knew they were amazing people. Wherever they are, they light up a room, and I like to call them the ultimate dynamic duo.
He and I both have the same vision, I guess you could say, for the area and for Mansfield. We want the best for the people that live here and for the city, and we're willing to help in any way we can to achieve that. We run a small manufacturing company that manufactures precision machine parts for other people, and it's been in business since 1964. We do excellent work. It's actually a very interesting business. A lot of engineers, a lot of people think engineering is boring and engineers are boring, but it's actually very fascinating taking pieces of metal and turning them into something that works.
I'm second generation. My father started one of the businesses we still operate today. While working there, my wife and I, Zoe and I, started a second business in 2008, which turned out to be an interesting time to start a business. If you recall, we were heading into a recession, but it worked out.
I first met them when I was working for Richland Economic Development Corporation, formerly known as REDEC, working with Mike Green. And Mark and Zoe were actually in the process of working with Mike to start the now called the Regional Manufacturing Coalition. They worked initially with Richland County manufacturers, and then they grew it to, I believe it's a 7-state region, and have done a phenomenal job. It's really an enormous opportunity for those manufacturers to collaborate, to brainstorm, to network, and to share some resources too, and advocate for each other.
Running a business is hard, and but it's worthwhile. And so it maybe wasn't as exciting as living overseas, but is just as rewarding.
Several years ago, Zoe says, we're going to Columbus next week to attend the National Federation of Independent Businesses Legislative Day. And the keynote speaker was Senator Bill Harris from Ashland. And he said a few words about having the right people serve in the legislature, in that he felt that they needed more business people. We left that event that day, and in the car I said to Zoe, I never thought about running for office, but maybe this is my way to do my duty and do my small part.
When he told me, he said, don't worry, it won't affect your life in any way whatsoever. And I just kind of laughed and thought, well, okay, we'll see. But, he really wanted to give back to the community, and he thought this would be the best way for him, and so I was all for it.
Out of the blue, I got a call from Mark, and he said, I've been told that I should call you because I'm interested in running for state representative. It was very clear to me right away that this was a guy who wanted to do it for the right reasons. So we set out to get together again and talk about that, and that's when I got to know Zoe. And I was convinced right away that he had a partner in this effort. And interestingly, through the campaign, Zoe wasn't hesitant to speak up. And she had ideas, and good ones.
I knew he'd win right from the start.
He's been in office 12 years, 8 as state rep, 4 as state senator, and 1 more term that he's in the middle of right now.
As much as possible, I try and get a meeting with people, one-on-one meeting. And most of the time, once they hear my position and my reasons for being on a different side of the policy, usually we can all walk away saying, now I understand.
Mark doesn't go for the low-hanging fruit. Mark takes on challenges. First Energy. Mark had a sense early on that something wasn't right, and Mark was not afraid to say what's going on in the utility arena is not good for the people of Ohio, and it's not good for my constituents in Richland County. And he proved to be very right. But usually if Mark's on a position, it's probably the right side of the fence.
One thing I loved about the guy, he says no when he needs to say no. And he doesn't care who he says that to. I believe he's even told the governor that a couple of times.
Some of our best times have been battles back and forth. I mean, it's not always campfire and ice cream and hey, John boy. Mark and I have had battles, and I kind of think we actually like that a little bit because I think it helps him form his decision. Okay, am I right in this thought process? Or maybe there is another point of view. So I don't think he minds mixing it up every now and then. I don't mix it up with Zoe. She's too smart.
Since Mark went into politics and spends his time in Columbus, I kind of help run the businesses. I try to do the right thing every day, whatever the situation comes up. You know, there's always a decision to be made or a path to go down, and I just try to do what's best for my business, for my employees especially. You know, we want to provide good jobs and a good home for them.
They have done an excellent job, and Zoe in particular, of stressing the importance of manufacturing and the importance of developing talent for manufacturing.
I'm the president of the RMC, the Regional Manufacturing Coalition. I'm also on the National Federation of Independent Business Legislative Council.
She's the head of our Business Advocacy Committee, and I can't think of anybody better to head that up because, again, she's very in tune with what's going on.
Zoe is much more intellectual than she lets on. She's multilingual. She speaks and writes and reads 5 languages.
Zoe will never take any credit for anything. The most animated I think you could see her get is when someone tries to give her credit, she gives you the hand like, I don't want, you know.
There's so much that they do behind the scenes to help things out that they don't care if anybody ever knows about, from doing little things to make sure families get what they need, whether it's the right health care or the right support, or to make sure an economic development project gets over the finish line. They are 24/7 on call.
I'm going to finish out my term here in the Senate and just probably come back home. I got to help Zoe. She can't do that forever, and I can't be in Columbus forever. And I want to come back home, work in the community a little bit and help out, and I want to get involved with the church a little bit more.
The most recent redevelopment and revitalization plans are very exciting, and I'm really looking forward to those coming to fruition. And I'm sure they're going to attract a lot more people to the area and kind of reawaken everything. I'm real excited about all those changes.
They're 2 of the most kind and generous people I've ever met, and really have a heart for this community and are true champions for Richland County. We're so lucky to have them here.